Today, I'll be taking you through, from start to finish, the creation of a book cover for your self-published ebook or Amazon book or actual published paperback copy. We're going to take the creation of this book cover utilizing freely available resources online that require you to have little to no downloading needed, nor any kind of art ability. Myself, I can't draw myself out of a paperback personally. With the advent of AI technology, it makes the ability for people like me and you that don't have any kind of artistic inclination to create fantastic representations of actual characters from our writing directly from the words and pages on our book. My friend R.J. Stinson is working on his first book, The Realm, a Grimm Forge novel, and he gave me permission to use some character descriptions to create a mock-up of a book cover for his series. You can follow his book and the development of it on grimmforge.com. That's grimmforge.com. And I believe that's going to be being worked on within the early part of 2023, depending on when you see this video. So I went ahead and pulled up some text here on the right-hand side of the screen. That way I can read through some of the description of this particular character that we're going to be working with to create this image from. Now, in this particular case, the character's name is Trey Ballou, and he's got a description in here that we're going to utilize. And I'm just going to see how this works in creating an image, right? So he is described as tall, broad, built like a brick shithouse, right? Skin black as night, like Amistad black. Cleanly shaven head, and other characteristics. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of these newcomer rooms right here. And I'm going to take a second to kind of take a look at some of the stuff that people are already kind of working at. Now, this is something I recommend you utilize in terms of really taking a look at different styles and all the different things that people are creating, because you can do a lot with this software. You can do as little as you want with the software. For instance, this person used the term Balin the Fisherman from Viva La Dirt to generate a female version of that particular character. As you can see, it'll give you 4 versions of something when it creates, and you can kind of select from there. But this is just an example from somebody else, right? This particular one right here, a large manatee drinking a beer, watching a soccer game in a bar while wearing a messy jersey, photorealistic. Again, it's not perfect. He's not exactly wearing a jersey, but I mean, the stuff's amazing. It really is. So we're just going to go ahead and dive in here. I'm going to scroll down until I see some people with some really useful code that we're going to, this guy right here. So there's a lot of different commands that you can add. For instance, ambient lighting, cinematic lighting, and all of these things will add different layers to your particular image, right? So highly detailed, 8K. This is how you can get the most out of your AI creation, is when you really start adding all these different things on there. You can see in this particular one, the face is immaculate. The details on the camera and everything are so crisp and clean. That's because they added all these extra stuff with cell shading and post-processing that commands the AI basically to do all these different functions, right? So I am just going to go ahead and grab a couple of these. Just grab this text line right there. I'm not going to use all of them necessarily, but we're just going to go ahead and start with this, right? So to create something, and I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that, you're going to want to go ahead and just simply type. Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah. Got it. Thank you. Get rid of that. It's a fresh install. It's in the way. Okay, so all you have to do is hit the slash thing. It'll automatically give you a frequently used prompt right there. Super simple. Type slash imagine, and then whatever you can imagine, it can create. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the ethical side of AI art creation. There are some concerns. Now, what it creates is 100% a unique creation. It doesn't steal images from another artist, as an example, and then just gives you that image. It does, however, and has viewed millions of images and can create something in the style of a particular artist. For instance, like Dali, if I wanted to create something as a Dali type image, Salvador Dali, it would be able to do so. Now, there are a lot of people that are upset at AI. They're afraid that it's going to take over an industry. And I mean, to an extent, there is some valid points on that. However, it's also an amazing, useful tool in technology. And I'm sorry to say, but never has anybody been able to stand in the way of technology at all. It's going to advance. It's going to progress. That is human nature. The stagecoach industry really had a problem with the horseless carriage when it came out. The pen and pencil companies were upset when typewriters came out. The typewriter companies were upset when computers and word processing came out. So this is just another iteration of that. And I don't necessarily think it's going to do away with artists. It will allow people who have a desire to create beautiful art and to create beautiful things the ability to do so, even if they don't have the technical know-how to do so. But I digress. Let's get into it. So we're going to go ahead and type in slash imagine. And in this particular case, I am just literally going to take a snippet here of the description. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that on there. So, tall, broad, built like a brick shithouse. Curious how that's going to work. Skin black as night, like Amistad black with a cleanly shaven head. Now, in this particular description, at some point in this, he's also described as looking like John Henry. From the mythical tales of John Henry versus the steam machine. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but also, by the way, that's another example of somebody trying to fight against the progress of technology. Ironically enough, you should read it. It's a good book. Moving on though, so we're just going to go ahead and use that. I am going to add in some extra details about the scene around it. In this particular case, it takes place in a place called the Realm, which I don't know too terribly much about it, except that you should read the book to find out. So we're going to do a cave, right? Let's see, standing in an ancient cave with a, let's do a flashlight. In one hand. Now, I'm going to be a bit more descriptive, and I'm going to mention some clothing articles that I'd like to have on him, right? So, add a comma, wearing, let's say, combat boots, trench coat, because why not? Actually, let's try that. black cargo pants and a white t-shirt. Let's just do that. So I'm also going to take some of this stuff right here that I was going to copy and just copy that, add that onto it. So I don't care about the Canon EOS. Don't want that. I like ray tracing, detailed roughness, all that sort of stuff, right? So let's just see what happens with that. I'm going to go ahead and hit oh, okay. No, that's good. Apparently I have to accept the terms of service, and that's something I should have done. Don't forget to do that, folks. Accept. So let's try that again. / imagine prompt. I'm just going to paste the prompt that I already did. And let's see what happens. So it's going to take some time to start processing. There's a lot of detail that goes into it. Everything is unique. You can just sit here and wait. While we're waiting, though, I mean, let's look at this stuff right here. Pizza Dog Park City. Just those 4 words has created quite an image right there, right? So this isn't amazing, but it's a starting point. Combat boots, yada, yada, yada. Not a huge fan of what this is, but it gives you an idea of a start. Okay, so now we can work on tweaking that. Now, if we liked any of these, which I don't like any of these whatsoever, we can upscale them, and we're going to do that a little bit later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, copy it again, and we're going to scroll down, and I'm going to try some different variations of that. So we're going to go with tall, cultured black man, because in this description he's also very cultured, wearing some very refined clothing with expensive clothes on. Now let's work on some more descriptors here. My spelling is atrocious, I'm not gonna lie. So let's just make sure I get everything correct. So we're going to do that. I'm also going to add he has a strong jaw, high cheekbones, and bright blue eyes, because that's also part of the description at some point. Standing in a ancient cave with some pillars in the background, holding a lit torch in one hand. So we're going to even go so far as to say full body image, action shots, gothic style, photorealistic, for K, ambient lighting, ray tracing. Let's just go with that, and we'll just see where this ends up. So here's what it came up with, and it's definitely closer, right? The problem that you get a lot here is the faces can get a little bit angled, but none of those are really where I want them to be yet. So we're getting close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that text and use that as a base. Again, go to Imagine. I want to add bald, because he is described as bald specifically. Now, I do want to maybe go and really get some really detailed face stuff going on. So let's add this to the mix here. And let's see what we have. Now, if you have a free version, you have to wait for priority. If you have a paid version, well, it's quicker. there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different benefits to it, right? Not the least of which you could use the images that you create commercially, and you're 100% licensed with them. So let's take a look. Already, a million times better, not 100%. So the clothing and everything, we need to work on that. So let's take our image and our text, right? And let's do this / imagine modern, expensive modern clothes. And we're just gonna get rid of some of these words in here that really aren't kind of useful. Cinematic I want, right? Half moon lighting, not really relevant. And let's try this. Also, I'm going to change the do a little bit of tweaking here. And this is part of the process, really. You're going to have to go through and using words coax the AI to create a more realistic version of what you're looking at. This sort of stuff is super cool. A DVD still from an H.R. Geiger movie that doesn't even exist, and it just does it. I mean, I would watch the hell out of that personally. But here we go again. So that's not bad. I don't hate that. The face leaves a little to be desired, but so let's just take this one up here as an example, right? For intents and purposes. So what I'm going to do is I like image number 2 the best so far. So I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to click this U2 and it's going to upscale that particular image to a better quality for me, right? And I'm also going to do some variations on that particular image. So that's V2 here. And that'll start that process for me as well. You can see the blue lights up. That way you know that it's actually working. So let's go down here and see what this is. So you can see that this is going to be upscaling at first. I love just looking at some of these things that people create on here. It really is amazing. So here's some variations that have been done on that particular one. And I do like this one a little bit better as well, actually. So let's go ahead and upscale number 2 here. And we can check on our other upscale, which hasn't started yet. Upscaling is way more resource intensive, so it kind of prioritizes other stuff first over that. And I'm also going to do another variation on number 2. So here is the first upscaled version of that, and voila. That is Trey Ballou. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and open this particular thing here. And that's a fantastic, fantastic image. And we're just going to go ahead and use this. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to go ahead and go to desktop here. And I'm just going to create a new folder. Forge. And I'm going to title this Trey because that's the character's name. And you can see it drops down right there. Now that we have the character created, I'm going to go to Canva. I'm just going to type Canva in here, and you can, let's go Canva book cover, even more. And I'm going to click right on that. Let's start with okay. We'll just go ahead and do that. Start designing your book cover. So blank script, blank page here, and let's go ahead and start adding some stuff to it, right? So if you see something, for instance, that you like the look of, you can use that as a base. In my particular instance, let's see what we got here. So let's go, it's a pro one. Of course it is. Of course it is. All right, let's go with the Lost Kingdom here. We'll just use this as a base, because why not? I don't know watermark. Okay, so let's just delete that image right there, because that's what's got the watermark. Excuse me. So I'm going to upload an image here. You see that I've kind of worked on doing a few already. But let's go ahead and just go to desktop. And I need to find the folder that I created, Group Forge here, and I'm going to go ahead and upload Trey. So now, if you have a computer with Photoshop or anything like that, you can utilize this image and do a lot of different things with it, right? For the time being, this is just simple, easy, no editing needed, right? I'm just going to go ahead and scale this up to where I kind of want it, to where it looks good. So I kind of like, personally, a little bit of a side there, right? So it's not amazing. So let's try to mess with this color here a little bit, shall we? Let's go with white. That makes a big difference. Let's change that. And I'm going to change that to white 2. Just for shits and giggles. So we're already kind of on the right spot. Now, this particular one, you can really do whatever you want in terms of creation. You can add different things, but I don't like that particular text, so let's, like, you know, go to that maybe, or, you know, you can do whatever. This is a personal preference, and this is going to be like a design thing. So myself, I kind of like a little more of a modern look to it. So I'm going to go with that, right? But basically, right here, you have a perfectly designed character concept from scratch. Friend's author's name is R.J. Stenson. Check it out. It's a Grimm Forge. And I'm going to add some more text on here. Let's go with that. So again, I don't like that particular text, so I'm going to go, let's say, 42. You know, you kind of do a lot, right? But let's just take that for the time being. Okay, maybe that's not the best idea. Maybe let's just go with that, right? So 42 again. Stretch that out a little bit. Change the color to white. Shrink it down just a bit. And center it. Boom. So there's a lot of things that you can do, obviously, with this. All you want to do is share, download. You can choose which type of image that you want, right? In my particular case, I'll just use PNG. And you have a fantastic quality, unique image of the character. And you can do that with anything. Obviously, there's going to be some stuff that needs to be edited and tweaked along the way. But I hope this helps somebody out there. Have a great day.